All right, so there's this idea in my brain, and I'm not even 100% sure how to express it. It's not even a fully formed idea. Like, I want to write it, but I can't even figure out where to begin writing it. So maybe this is a good start. Maybe if I just get it out orally, I'll be able to put it on paper a little better. But it's something that's just been right there, like right on the edge of understandability, right? It's like right there. There's this intersection, at least for me, and this may be crazy to other people. Other people may think this is wacky. But for me, I'm noticing and feeling it inside. I don't know how to even express that. This is what I'm saying. But there's this feeling I have that there's an intersection between my creativity and my physical exertion. Almost like, and it's not like the more the better. It's like consistency is key. Okay, so when I am consistent with difficult workouts, it translates into creativity for me. Whether that be ideas for writing or an interesting subject for a podcast, or just thoughts of like, hey, I could reach out to this person or that person to sit down and have a meaningful conversation that other people might benefit from. Just things like this, right? That were not coming to me when I worked out before. And I was working out pretty consistently, but the difference was I wasn't trying to pour my creativity into anything before, right? I was just working out. And, sometimes I would do creative things, but it wasn't super intentional. But there's something that's happening, internally at least, right? And it kind of goes into the external as well, but I feel it more than I can show it. Like, I don't know how to express that, but the more consistent I am at doing difficult things, right? Whether that be running, lifting weights, body weight workouts, just things that are physically exhausting and somewhat difficult, the more creative ideas I have. And this goes far beyond. I know some people will probably just think like, well, yeah, working out is beneficial to all aspects of your life, and that's a common thing. It's like you're healthier, you feel better, your brain is firing better, you have more energy, right? You have more focus. But it's beyond that. It's beyond that because I've always worked out. And like I said, the only difference is before I wasn't trying to pour myself into things creatively, and now I am. And I've tried that before, like do creative things, but it wasn't as intentional as it is now. And now I'm noticing, like I said, this intersection where the more consistent I am with my physical exertion, the more creative ideas that I have every day. And not even that. Like not just when it comes to podcasting or writing or doing these creative endeavors, but also with other aspects of my life. Listen, like I'm saying, it's more than just I work out so I feel better and everything else improves. It's not that. I'm literally having ideas, creative thoughts that weren't coming to me easily before, and now they are. And I think it has something to do with doing both things consistently, right? Back in June, I decided I was going to try to make a podcast every single day, or a YouTube video every single day, expressing something that I wanted to express. no matter what that might be. And at the same time, I had just gotten done running my first marathon, which is something I never thought I'd be able to do. But it put in place this idea that my body likes running now. It used to hate running, but now there's something that feels really good about that physical exertion. And the same goes for like lifting weights and things like that, but something about running, it's meditative, and it's like a repetitive movement, right? And it's endurance driven. I try to run, further and further all the time. So there's something about that. There's something about doing these things, these physically difficult tasks that fuels the creativity. It literally is. It happens while I'm working out, which is not strange. It's not strange. You'll hear that from a lot of people, but I'm seeing an actual connection between the two, like deliberate connection. It's almost as though my sacrifice, okay, and this might be getting a little silly for some people, okay? It's even a little silly for me expressing it, but like I said, it's not a fully formed thought. This is something that I'm still trying to work out in my head, but it's almost as if my sacrifice of physical exertion is pleasing to the creative gods, right? And they're smiling on me because of it. And I know that a lot of people who are creative are not very physical people. There's plenty of people who are super creative, super right-brained people that are not particularly physically active. And I get that. And maybe it's just with me. Maybe I need this thing to fuel that thing, where other people don't. They're just fully on right-brained. Or, it comes to them because of something else that they do. But for me, for some reason, I literally feel this connection. If I exert myself physically on a particular day, consistently I'm seeing that same day, I'm having a creative idea that is potentially fruitful, right? Maybe not even like monetarily or anything like that, but that makes me literally feel better mentally, spiritually, physically, expressing it. And like I said, this is it's just something I've been wrestling with, but I'm definitely noticing it. It feels deliberate, and it could just be coincidence. I know that. I know it could be coincidence. I know it could maybe just be the fact that I'm working out, and so I feel good, and so I'm more creative. My brain is firing better. But I don't think that's quite it, because like I said, I've been physically active for more than a decade, and I've never felt as creative as I do now. So, it's not even just creative, right? I'm not thinking of myself as some great creative mind. It's just the opposite, really. It's like my mind isn't normally built for creativity, but now that I'm attempting it, now that I want to do creative things, now that I want to put ideas out there that weren't there before, or put things into the world that didn't exist if I didn't put them into the world, it feels like doing both of these things in concert is the way I have to do it. It's like both of these things or neither of these things. I can't just be creative without the physical exertion. And something about the creative pursuits also fuels me to want to accomplish more physically. It's really symbiotic. And I don't know if anyone else feels that way. I guess that's kind of why I'm putting this out there, to see, like, is this a strange thought? I've been rereading Stephen Pressfield's The War of Art lately, and I listen to it a lot of times while I'm running. It's an audiobook. And, his idea of when you do the work consistently, the artistic muse smiles on you, sort of fueling your creativity. But I'm getting that in a more literal sense. Like, I can't just sit down and be creative and the muses smile on me. I also need to physically exert myself. That's part of the equation for me. And I'm realizing that. So with consistency, with expression, with artistic expression, creative expression, and the physical act of exerting energy, pushing myself daily. These things fuel each other. And I don't know if that's just me. Like I said, I think I'm just kind of putting feelers out there with this and seeing if this is just a random stupid thought or if other people have experienced this. Do you feel like one thing fuels the other? Do you feel like I feel like this is absolutely true, that if I were to stop working out and just try to sit down and write or not, bang out a podcast every day, that I wouldn't be able to do it. These things will not happen on their own. They have to be intertwined for me. And I'm wondering if, one, if that's an insane thought. Two, if there are other people out there who are regularly physically active and also attempting creative pursuits that feel the same way, that like this is fueling this. And if not, maybe there will be some people who hear this and go, I might try that. There might be something to that. So, man, if you're a creative person but you're struggling, maybe try the physical exertion thing. It may be complete bunk. It may be bullshit. It may not work at all for anyone else. I don't know. But I felt like I needed to express this right now, and I don't know why. And it's almost like it perpetuates it. That's part of this. When I have an idea that I need to express, if I don't express it, I'm wasting that sacrifice that I made to get it, if that makes any sense. My workout today fueled this idea to spring into my head, to share with people, to see what they thought about it. And it's like, if I didn't express that, if I just kept it in, eventually my brain would forget about it, and that would be one less thing that I expressed that something was telling me I needed to express, right? I made my sacrifice for the day of the physical exertion. I got my creative idea, even though I didn't know quite what it was, and now I'm expressing it. And if I didn't, I feel like other things would suffer, other creative ideas. The one I might have tomorrow might not come, or maybe my workout won't be as good tomorrow, and so therefore, like I said, perpetuating the cycle. All I know is when I'm doing both in concert, they enhance each other. And if I do them independently of each other, it's not as good. It's not as good. It's like, yeah, I can work out, but it's not stimulating me artistically. It's not stimulating my creative side. But if I'm doing both in concert, it's like they're fueling each other. It's a strange thing. I know it's ridiculous, but yeah. Let me know. I want to know, literally, please, if anyone feels this way at all. Do you feel like you almost have to exert yourself physically to express yourself artistically? Is this a thing? Or am I just insane? Alright, if you enjoy videos or podcasts like this where I talk about whatever I feel like talking about, it's usually entertainment or pop culture. Sometimes it's life stories, and sometimes it's random thoughts like this. If you're down with that, Please subscribe for more, or follow or favorite the podcast. I try to do this once a day. I try to put something out in the world that wasn't there before. So if that's something you can vibe with, please follow along. If you decide to follow or favorite the podcast or subscribe to the YouTube channel, then I will talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks.